Hey guys, we are taking a look at our Big Ideas Chapter 10 again. Yesterday we worked on subtracting 10 and 100. Um, we are going to skip over lessons 10.2 and 10.3 because we know how to subtract from a number line. Remember, when you're subtracting from a number line, we are going this way, you're going backwards. Um, and just like to jump a 10, you take you go down 110, just like we talked about yesterday. You do the same thing with hundreds. You can jump 100 the same way. Um, just make sure your humps are bigger so you know what you're subtracting, and you can put minus 100 over it. Um, subtracting a three-digit number is on a number line is the same. It's just another step. We're not going to look at compensation for 10.4 just because I feel like that is a really hard method to use for subtraction. Um, I don't know that it will help you guys if you liked using compensation when we did the other subtraction. You are welcome to go back and look at 10.4 in your math book if you think that will help you with subtracting. If you have any questions about it, I will gladly answer them. But I'm not going to use it for us to learn this week. We did look at models with addition, but I think we know how to use models. That's just using your place value blocks, like your squares for your hundreds and your sticks for your tens and your little cubes for your ones. Um, so I think we understand that concept. Today, we're going to look at 10.6, subtracting three-digit numbers. So we're going to start looking at that, and this will require us to regroup twice sometimes. Um, and then this is a concept that's a little more complicated, and you will look more into it in third grade. But tomorrow, we're going to talk about subtracting numbers that contain zero. And using addition to subtract. We're just going to kind of briefly look at it using addition to subtract because sometimes that does help some of us with subtraction. So today we're looking at 10.6. Tomorrow we'll look at 10.7 and 10.8. And then you guys will have a quick little review to do on Thursday for a grade. So remember, we won't take a quiz or test on Chapter 10. You're just going to have a review for a classwork grade on Thursday. And this will be the last Big Ideas unit that we work on. And we're going to start taking a look at multiplication. So make sure you're doing your reflex because I've changed everybody to multiplication and reflex. So we're introducing multiplication. All right, so let's take a look at lesson 10.6.
Let's explore subtracting three-digit numbers. Find 529 minus 218.
All right, so remember when you're subtracting, the rule is if there's more on the floor, you go next door. Well, there's more on the top here. So we could say 9 minus 8 is 1. We do not have to regroup on this one. Same here. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So this problem required no regrouping. Remember, in subtraction, you cannot flip-flop your numbers. So I can't say if I had this was an 8 and this was a 9, I cannot flip them and say 9 minus 8. You will not get the right answer. All right.
Find 553 minus 316.
So like this one, I cannot say 6 minus 3 is 3. If I do that, all right, think about that. So that would be a 3. Let's see if we get the right answer if we do it. See if we get a 3 if we do it the right way. All right, so, the right way to do it is come over here, borrow a 10. So I have to take 1. All right, so I'm adding 10 over here now. So that's going to give me a 13. 3 plus 10 is 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. Okay, see, if I would have flipped this, I would have had a 3 here. So we already know that problem would have been wrong. All right, now 4 minus 1 is 3. Do not forget to come when you borrow to cross out your number here and go down one number. And then 5 minus 3 is 2. So our answer for this one is 237.
Find 323 minus 194.
All right, this is one that we are going to have to regroup twice. So this is just extra steps. Make sure you're taking your time and paying attention to what you're doing. 3 minus 4. I cannot do that, so I have to come over here. I have to borrow. So I have 1. Do not forget to regroup. Then I'll come over here. 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. 1 minus 9. I cannot do that. I cannot flip them. So I have to come over here and borrow 100. So that's going to change to 2. It's the same way going to this place value as it was in this one. All right, so now 100 plus 110 is going to be 11 tens. 11 minus 9 is 2. And now we have 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer is 129. All right, now this is a lot of steps, so make sure you follow, you do your regrouping. Take your time with it. Don't rush through it, because sometimes people will rush through and forget to cross out their 2 here, and then they'll come over, change this to a 12, and you end up just being a number or 2 off. So make sure you follow all the steps. Take your time with it.
Compare the problems. How are they the same?
Let's look at our Think and Grow.
635 minus 287 equals what number? Look at the ones. There are not enough ones to subtract 7. So, regroup 3 tens and 5 ones as 2 tens and 15 ones. 15 ones minus 7 ones equals 8 ones. Look at the tens. You have 2 tens. There are not enough tens to subtract 8. So, regroup 6 hundreds and 2 tens as 5 hundreds and 12 tens. 12 tens minus 8 tens equals 4 tens. 5 hundreds minus 2 hundreds equals 3 hundreds. So, 635 minus 287 equals 348.
All right, let's look at a few examples before you guys work on your practice for today. Okay, so remember this, when you have it as a multiple choice, it's always helpful because you can see if you made one mistake. So if we flip these two numbers and said 4 minus 3 and got 1 here, we are automatically going to see that that's wrong because there's nothing here with a 1 in the ones place. So we're going to come over here. We're going to borrow because we have to come over here to borrow to do 3 minus 4. We put our 1 here. Come over here. 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. Now we've got to come over here and we've got to borrow again. We put our 3. Change this to 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. And 249 is an option for that one. All right, now we've got to come over here and regroup again. So we're going to put our 3 here. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. See, and this, guys, is where it's really good to make sure that you have been practicing your basic addition and subtraction facts, because it makes it a little bit quicker to come through and do your basic subtraction, so you can focus on the steps you have to do. Okay, we've got to come over here. We've got to borrow 1. 10 plus 3, 13 tens. So 13 minus 6 is 7. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. All right, here we have 5 minus 1. We do not have to regroup here because we have more on the top. So 5 minus 1 is 4. All right, now we have 1 minus 5. We cannot flip-flop. More on the floor. Go next door. We come to this side. Remember, you're always working this direction, just like on a number line. With subtraction, you work this direction. So we have 2. Cross out our 1. 110 plus 100 equals 11 tenths. 11 minus 5 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. 164. All right, here we have more on the top, so 8 minus 6 is 2. 6 minus 7, we have to regroup. So remember, you're not always going to have to regroup on all of them. Sometimes you're not going to have to regroup at all. Sometimes it's just going to be in the ones. Sometimes it's just going to be in the tens. Sometimes it will be in both. So we're going to come over here. We're going to borrow 100. And we're going to change this to 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. 4 minus 2 is 2. So our answer is 292. All right, we have more on the top here, or more on the floor, sorry. So we're going to come over here, regroup. 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 minus 6 is 5. Come over here, regroup. 11 minus 4 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. 475. All right, more on the floor. Go next door. Got a 1. 10 plus 7 is 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. All right, we've got more on the floor here. Go next door again. 6. It'll be 11 tens now. 11 minus 8 is 3. And 6 minus 2 is 4. So our answer is 438. All right, here we have more on the floor again. We're going to come over here and borrow a 10. 2. 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. Come borrow again. 12 minus 8 is 4. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So our answer is 246. Okay, more on the floor. Go next door. Come over here. Change this to a 5. 10 plus 3 is 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. And 9 minus 3 is 6. 628. All right, more on the floor. Go next door. We have 3 tens now. 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. Okay, more on the floor. Go next door. 6. 100 plus 3 tens is 13 tens. 13 minus 5 is going to be 8. 6 minus 2 is 4. So 487. Okay, now you guys can work on your 10.6 practice. Since we're not having lives today, just let me know if you have any questions. I will be testing tomorrow. So if you have any questions about tomorrow, you are welcome to send them to me, and I will get back to you as soon as I am done with testing.